I'm still very much sick, which means for the next couple of days, this is what my voice is going to sound like. So I apologize that you have to hear this garbage voice during this video, but really nothing I can do about it. So I guess let's get into the video. Hey everybody, Nick from 9Card TCG, and today we're going to be looking at a deck list from Tord that may or may not surprise you. I don't know how much time you spend on YouTube, but pretty new deck and very interesting. So I guess let's go take a look at it. So at first glance, you might be like, Nick, this is just Rapid Strike Urshifu, but if you look really closely, you'll see that we are including Vaporeon V and VMAX, and we only have one of each. And Vaporeon VMAX is very interesting. It has the max Torrent attack, which does 100 damage. However, if your opponent's active Pokemon has any damage counters on it already, it does an additional 100 damage. Now, getting that damage is actually pretty easy because of our Urshifu VMAX that does spread damage with Gmax Rapid Flow, and we have Quick Shooting Inteleon to help ping damage wherever we want. So the idea with this deck is to spread some damage using Gmax Rapid Flow, Quick Shooting, and then pressure our opponent into putting up a Pokemon that's going to get knocked down, or maybe something that's going to give us some free prizes from attacking with Vaporeon VMAX. And how are we going to force them into that? Well, we do have 3 copies of Escape Rope to kind of force our opponent to give us Pokemon that have already been damaged, whether it's Gmax Rapid Flow or Quick Shooting, to take some easy knockouts. The rest of the deck is pretty familiar if you have played any combination of Urshifu or Suicune. We have our Octillery to search for any Rapid Strike Pokemon, or any Rapid Strike card actually that we want. Passimian helps us do a little bit of extra damage with Gmax Rapid Flow, and then Crobat, of course, draws some cards with Dark Asset. As far as our other supporting Pokemon go, Sobble and Drizzile are really important cards for this deck because they let us use Shady Dealings to help get any trainer card we want, and then also we can evolve up into our Quick Shooting Inteleon and our Shady Dealings Inteleon to help further our game plan. We do run 2 copies of Capacious Bucket so that we can get some water energies in play, and an Echoing Horn. The reason we have Echoing Horn is so we can get, a single prize Pokemon back onto the bench, or a Crobat back onto the bench, just an easy target for Gmax Rapid Flow, or to, gust up with something like Escape Rope and then attack into. It's just a way to get some free prizes. The support account's going to look a little weird. We really are focusing on Melony as our supporter. What it does is it lets us accelerate an energy card, or water specifically, to one of our Pokemon V, and then we get to draw 3 cards. So using Melony, we actually get to Gmax Rapid Flow back-to-back turns. So if we have 2 energy, we have a Rapid Strike energy and a water energy on our Urshifu. When we discard them using Gmax Rapid Flow, next turn we can Melony that water energy back on, Rapid Strike search from Octillery to get another Rapid Strike energy, manually attach, and then Gmax Rapid Flow 2 turns in a row. You could be taking 4 prizes in 1 turn or 2 turns with something like double Gmax Rapid Flow. It also lets us power up a Vaporeon immediately after we Gmax Rapid Flow. So it gives us options on how we want to set up our attackers. Plus we get to draw cards, so pretty cool. We do have Professor's Research as a really strong draw support as well. Telescopic Sight lets us do an extra chip damage, an extra 30 damage to Pokemon V and GX when they're on the field, or on the bench rather, when we Gmax Rapid Flow. Rapid Strike and Water Energies, like we talked about, just to get our Pokemon attacking quickly. So that's the deck. Like I said before, this is a list created by Tord, so it's gonna play well. It's just a matter of, in my feeble-minded sick state, can I play it well? So I guess we'll go find out. If this is your first time checking out the channel, I'm sorry that this is the state you had to hear my voice in for the very first time, but I do appreciate you checking out the channel. If you haven't already, hitting the subscribe button and bell notification are really good ways to get this channel growing. So we here have a pretty good start. We're going to wait to see what our opponent has. They are going to mulligan, which means we get to look at their hand, and we can make a decision on, do we want to bench stuff? They're playing probably Dragapult, which is a problem because we do not have Galarian Moltres in order to go ahead and actually deal with the dark weakness. or the dark type, their psychic type. They're weak to dark glare. Moltres is dark type, so it's a tough matchup. And Dragapult being, I would say, undoubtedly one of, if not the most popular deck in the format, does make this list a little bit harder to play. So I don't really like this. We have some Melonies that we don't really want to give up, but we don't have a water energy to discard and then accelerate onto our Urshifu here. So we're kind of in a tough spot. I think it's probably best to get rid of the Scoop Up. And we gotta draw some cards, I think, before we do anything else. We can bucket. I think that's fine. And let's escape rope. We're gonna give them. We're gonna give them the Dragapult in the active, but honestly, it's better than letting them attack into us. So now, next turn, we can level ball for a Drizzile. We can go ahead and that's all they can do. So they didn't play a supporter, they didn't do anything, which they're gonna concede. What? Okay, so since that was a really short game, I'll just kind of talk through getting the next game set up. One of the things you really need to pay attention to, especially in competitive gaming or competitive matches, is what your opponent did during their turn. Not just what their setup was or what the attack they'd use was, but did they play a supporter? Did they play any items? What did they do during that turn? My opponent did nothing, so I was never going to Marnie them because that means their hand was dead. So things to keep in mind. We're going into the second game here with an awful hand. A really not a good hand. We are going to go second, which is not ideal because we have nothing set up to attack. A Metal Energy, and they're not going to keep calling, so it's interesting. Man, we got nothing. This is not ideal. But we'll set up the Sobble for next turn. And then we can at least Evolution Incense. Try to get a Marnie or a Research or something. Depending on what we top deck. But my opponent should know now that my hand is pretty dead. So for them to Marnie me, if, for example, that's what they did, must mean that their hand is dead too. Because they should have noticed, well, I didn't attach an energy. I didn't play any attacking Pokemon. I didn't play a supporter, so my hand must be pretty trash, and they would be really right. So next turn, we can go ahead and Octillery, get an Urshifu, I think is probably the best bet. Evolution Incense for a Drizzile, and then get probably. We have the Inteleons in hand. So I'm not really sure what to do here. I guess we'll see what my opponent does. They're probably just going to end their turn in Intrepid Sword. They also did not play a supporter. So I don't really want to. I mean, maybe Marnie's not a bad idea now. I think maybe we should go Vaporeon. We got plenty of Rapid Strike energies. I actually think the play here is Vaporeon. We have the VMAX in hand. And we have the Quick Shooting for next turn. So I think, what do I really need? I don't really need anything. So maybe I'll just get another maybe I'll get another Sobble setup. because now next turn I can quick shooting and put some damage onto this Zacian, and then I can look for maybe an Escape Rope, where I can use the Evolution Incense, get a Drizzile Escape Rope. They'll probably give me this Drizzile instead of their Zacian, because they know it's going to get knocked out if they do, but then they won't have their own quick shooting. Even with the cape, I mean, it won't get knocked out with the cape, but we'll see. If they go into the active, then my Drizzile would search for a... I don't even think this deck runs Tool Scrapper, which is like, for me, as someone who plays mainly single strike, Tool Scrappers are invaluable simply because of things like this. Without Tool Scrapper, you won't be able to keep up with the prize trade of things like Suicune and Zacian, and those are really popular, really strong decks. So I think to not have a Tool Scrapper or a Tool Jammer at the very least is kind of problematic, and it's the one thing I would change about this deck. I may even be inclined to get rid of the Rapid Strike Tower of Waters for the Tool Scrapper or the Tool Jammer, just for things like this. Because now, if they send up that Zacian, which it looks like they're gonna, I'm not gonna be able to knock it out. Now, they can't Brave Blade 2 turns in a row unless they have Switch Escape Rope or Double Switch or something, but we'll see. They're gonna get the other Drizzile, which is kind of works in our favor that they are. I mean, unless they have another Shady Dealings Inteleon, their odds of finding what they need next turn are a little bit lower because they use their search power this turn. And never mind, we are kind of dead in the water here. Well, let's go ahead. We'll get rid of the Vaporeon. We'll get the Urshifu. We will get a Rapid Strike Energy. Because we just played this, we can't Rapid Flow. So if I drop a Drizzile, get the Tower of Waters, or get this. I don't want to get an Escape Rope. I do not want to let them. I don't want to make it easier for them to attack next turn, because then all they need is one switch as opposed to a switch and an air balloon or two switches. So I think we'll go here. We'll see what we got first. Do I have... We have the Tower of Waters. So we can get the tower. And we can always go like this. Because now my game plan of using quick shooting doesn't really matter as much. We can get the tower and Melony. I think are the two things I want to get. We'll throw down the tower. Well, Melony. And we're going to retreat. Because now we can attack. I don't want to evolve and then make it so that I can't retreat for free. So you have to keep that in mind. Because this Drizzile is not a Rapid Strike Pokemon, you won't get the free retreat. So I had to do it first. I don't really need to play the Remoraid. Is there anything I need with this Drizzile? Aside from getting to quick shooting a little bit faster. But I don't think there is. So I don't really see a need to play it right now. So we're just going to go ahead and 100 Furious Blows. So now they have to have double switch outs. Whether that's an Escape Rope switch, Escape Rope Air Balloon, double switch, Air Balloon switch, Bird Keeper switch, Bird Keeper Air Balloon. So there's the Air Balloon. And they're going to get the switch because... Oh, no. They're going with the quick shooting Inteleon. So they're going to dig for the switch. If they get the switch, if they get the switch, I'm done. But this is why I didn't want to Drizzile immediately. I could have Drizziled for another Urshifu just to have it onto the bench, and then I could have evolved it next turn. That's an option. Or I could have Gale Thrusted instead of trying to make 100 Furious Blows happen. But we'll see. If they don't have the switch out, then I'll just be able to attack again. They're going to quick shooting ping. They can't Marnie, they can't boss. So we'll see what they end up doing. So it looks like they're going to start getting a second Zacian onto the bench. They're probably going to Intrepid Sword to that Zacian, knowing that they can't attack. Yeah, okay. So let's do this. If I how do I want to do this? They have 120 damage left. So I could be able to take with the G-Max Rapid Flow Knockout. So maybe I do that. And we can grab the Passimian. We'll Drizzile, we'll get the Telescopic Sight. And just put a ton of pressure on this other Zacian. And I don't want to Marnie, actually. Actually, I don't think it matters, because we have the Rapid Strike Search to find that other Inteleon, or that other, what's it? The other Inteleon. We could drop this, but I'm afraid they're going to boss it up. So I think I just Rapid Flow. Because now all I need to do is hit it for not a lot of damage, and they're going to be in trouble. So we have the Melony. The Melony's key here. Melony will get us G-Max Rapid Flow twice. We'll be able to take 3 prizes this turn. This only has 220, so I won't be able to quick shooting knock it out, which is unfortunate, because then I could have just attacked 2 other Pokemon, get 4 prizes like that. So that is unfortunate. But if so, here's the Drizzile. They could Marnie, right? Reduce my hand size, but then they can't boss. So really, I'm in a pretty good spot. They're gonna Raihan, which means they will be able to attack this turn. I'm gonna go ahead and hit into my Urshifu, which is honestly fine to me. They don't have another Zacian set up, and so I'm gonna G-Max Rapid Flow 2 turns in a row, knock out their Zacian, knock out their Oranguru. Now they have no pivot and no Pokemon set up for next turn, and then I'm just a single prize away from winning, and that's where I can set up this other Rapid Strike Urshifu. So yeah, I think that's the way to do it. How much health does this at? 150. So I won't be able to knock out either their... I really just would want to knock out this Inteleon, but it is what it is. 20 damage is not going to matter too much after this turn. So here we go. Rapid Strike Search. Go ahead, attach. Melony. We'll drop. And, yeah, here we go. None of their Inteleons can attack. This Inteleon technically could attack, but I think they're in trouble here. I think they are in trouble. Because all I need to do is attach there's nothing for them to do at this point. So let's get into the final game of the video. If you have enjoyed the video, hitting the like button and leaving a comment are the best ways to tell YouTube that this is a good video and other people should watch it. I don't know if I said that already before, but you know, I'm doing it again. This is actually not a bad hand. I'm okay with this. We're playing some type of grass deck, which could be Leafeon, could be Delmise. Those are the only two grass decks that I know of. Because they're playing Drizzile, they're definitely playing Leafeon. So we kind of want to reserve our Tower of Waters for when they get their for when we're ready to attack, because then they come back with Grass Knot. Our retreat cost is reduced by 2. I don't want to throw it down since we only have 1. You throw it down too early, they just counter with Galamine. You know they have 4, and now we have no more Stadium. So you have to play the Tower of Waters smart here. It's not like with Urshifu single strike version where you just have to get rid of their Galamines because 1, you need it to draw, and 2, because they're gonna knock out your Pokemon pretty easily. This is very, very bad right now. And they're gonna Greening Cells. Yeah, this is not good. If this was any other deck, maybe we'd have a decent shot. I think I'm gonna get rid of the Escape Rope for now. Well, maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I shouldn't have played. Would have been. I think that's it. I could have Keep Calling. Maybe I should have played Keep Calling instead, because now they just need a boss's orders and they're pretty much gonna win, because I don't have any other way of doing anything. So they have to have a boss and an Evolution Incense. So I'm curious to know what the last card in their hand is. So they're gonna go with the Leafeon VMAX. If they play Research or they play Marnie or something, then I don't have to worry about the boss this turn. But who knows? It could be boss. It's a Crobat. It's definitely not what I wanted to see. Now, until they get Galarmine onto the field, I don't have to worry about getting one shot because they'll only do 120. But you know they're going to be looking for a Galamine and a boss, and then they win pretty much. Because I'll be too far behind on prizes with no other Pokemon set up to attack or no Pokemon ready to evolve. There's the Escape Rope. So it wouldn't have mattered too much even if I did Escape Rope, because they just would have played their own. I'm sure they have a switch of some kind. Right? Like, they're only going to do 120. And even so, I have the Drizzile that I can get, and I can get an Evolution Incense and get a VMAX. But that's about it. Man, my opponent here has quite the wild turn. Yeah, they just win. So that's pretty much the deck in a nutshell. I know it's a slightly shorter video than normal. The games weren't as long or compelling, but it kind of worked out in my favor because, like I said, I'm not really feeling too well, so I don't know how much longer I'll really be able to do this without completely destroying my voice. Overall, I do really like the deck, and I really like the constant pressure that I could put on, but you are really at a disadvantage against things like Shadow Rider and Dragapult just because you don't have anything to counter your psychic weakness. Leafeon, as you see, can be a really tough matchup because we have so many pieces of, you have the Octillery, and you have the Inteleons, and you have the Urshifus, and you have the Passimian, and you have the Vaporeons. It's very similar to any other type of box deck where you have all these pieces, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, when you have so many pieces, the chances of you finding the pieces you need when you need them are lower than if you play just a regular deck. Obviously, the Inteleon line is supposed to help you with that consistency, but sometimes other decks just take off a little bit quicker than you can, and against a deck like Leafeon or against a deck like Dragapult, where they are consistently attacking turn 2 for pretty good damage, at least often enough to one-shot your Urshifu V. If you're not going first, or if they don't whiff something, you're just going to lose those matchups, and unfortunately Dragapult and Leafeon are both really, really popular. Not saying it's impossible to win those games, it definitely is, but it's going to be a little bit harder without something like Galarian Moltres on your side to counter at least the Dragapult side of things. And when Mew comes out, Mew's going to be everywhere, and unfortunately there's just no good answer for Mew in our Rapid Strike deck. The bench is going to be full of things like Genesect. Maybe you can pick off the Oricorio and the Latias and whatever, but for the most part, I mean, you're going to Gmax Rapid take 2 prizes, and they're going to come and hit you with 420 damage because of Genesect's Techno Blast does 210, but it's coming from Mew, which is a Psychic Pokemon, so it's going to hit double, and now they're hitting you for 420 for just 2 energy, and you can't take any counter knockout whatsoever. So it's going to be a really, really tough matchup for Rapid Strike Urshifu, and without Galarian Moltres, I think you're going to be in a lot of trouble most of the time, at least based on how Mew is expected to work and its anticipated population. That's going to do it for us today. A slightly longer discussion than normal, just to make up for the lack of gameplay, but yeah, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this informative, maybe a little bit enjoyable. If you did, hit the subscribe button and bell notification so you never miss another video. Leaving likes and comments are the best ways to tell YouTube this is a good video and other people should watch it, and it will help the channel grow. We are over 500 subscribers, which is wild to me, but if we can hit that 1,000 mark, it would be absolutely tremendous, and I have something special planned for when we do so. The faster we get there, the faster I get to give back to you guys. But that is going to do it for us today. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.